Welcome. This isn't just another video. This is your alarm, your reflection, and maybe your first real step toward finally feeling alive again. Because today we won't stay on the surface. We're going to dig into the hidden reasons you feel tired all the time, even after 8 full hours of sleep, even when you rest, even when life looks fine on the outside. You see, tiredness isn't only about your body. It's about your entire life. It's about your mind. It's about your soul quietly screaming for help. This video is not ordinary. It's not empty motivation. It's not a list of do this, do that tips. These are deep, psychology-backed, real-world truths collected from science, from therapy rooms, and from stories of people just like you. People who laughed in front of others but cried silently in their rooms at night, confused about why they felt so drained, so lost, so done with everything. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're not broken. But maybe, just maybe, no one ever told you these truths before. That ends today. Because in the next few minutes, you'll learn 14 brutal truths that explain exactly why you feel this way. And for each truth, I'll give you the solution no one ever taught us in school. The solution that restores your energy. Not just in your body, but in your mind, your heart, and your entire life. This is your moment. This is your chance to begin again. And by the end of this video, I promise, you won't just feel less tired. You'll feel seen, understood, and ready to rebuild yourself the right way. So take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear could change the way you live forever. This video will wake you up, transform your life, and improve your English. So watch carefully until the end, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Truth 1. You're not mentally exhausted. You're emotionally empty. Let me explain this in a way no one ever has. Most people believe they're tired because they work too much or because they don't sleep enough. But the deeper truth is this. Their heart is tired, not their body, not their brain. Their emotional world is drained. You're not tired because of what you did today. You're tired because of what you've been carrying for years. Think about it. How many times have you smiled while you were breaking inside? How many times have you said, "I'm fine," when deep down you were falling apart? How many times have you swallowed your pain, your anger, your sadness, just to avoid being a burden to others? That emotional weight doesn't vanish. It builds. It sits inside your chest like a stone, heavy, silent, invisible. And it's the reason you can't get out of bed some mornings. Imagine a phone that looks fully charged, but 20 apps are secretly draining the battery. That's you. You wake up with 8 hours of sleep, but still feel empty. Why? Because grief, guilt, regret, anger, fear, and old memories are running in the background of your mind 24/7. The solution isn't more sleep. It's emotional release. Here's where you start. Write it out. Every night, spend 5 minutes writing what you felt that day. Not what you did. Not, "I worked hard," but "I felt ignored. I felt proud. I felt scared." Let your emotions breathe. Don't let them rot inside. Stop bottling it all up. Find one safe outlet, a journal, a friend, even your own voice, and say out loud what's crushing you. You don't need to fix it right away. You just need to let it out. Cry if you must. Yes, cry. Break down if you need to. Because emotional energy is real energy, and when it stays trapped, it poisons your whole system. You're not lazy. You're simply tired of carrying everything alone. Tired of being strong every single day. Tired of being everything for everyone while being nothing for yourself. And unless you heal your emotions, you can sleep 10 hours and still wake up exhausted. You don't just need sleep. You need release. You need emotional freedom. And it begins right now with honesty to yourself. Truth 2. You wake up without a reason. Let me ask you a question most people avoid. Why do you wake up each morning? Is it because you're excited about your day? Or because you simply have no choice? Be honest. Most people don't wake up for a dream. They wake up for deadlines, for pressure, for duty, for survival. They open their eyes not because they can't wait to live, but because they must pay bills, answer emails, please others, or just keep running so they don't fall behind. This isn't living. This is an emotional prison. Here's the brutal truth. Nothing drains your energy faster than living a life that doesn't excite you. Even with 8 hours of sleep, even with healthy food, even if you do everything right, if you don't have a reason, a real reason, to wake up, you will always feel exhausted. Because energy doesn't come only from food. It comes from purpose. Picture a car with a full tank of fuel, but no destination. It drives in circles. Same road, same turn, same traffic, day after day. Eventually, even if the engine is perfect, it breaks down. That's you. You wake up, go to work, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat. But there's no dream chasing you forward. No goal that lights up your spirit. No vision that makes you leap out of bed. So your body whispers, "What's the point?" And that's why you're not physically tired. You're spiritually drained. Here's the hidden cost. When you don't have a purpose, every small problem feels 10 times heavier. You start avoiding things. You feel guilty yet numb. You start thinking, maybe I'm broken. But you're not broken. You're simply misaligned with your true vision. The solution: you don't need a perfect dream. You don't need a 5-year plan. But you do need a reason to wake up. Here's how to find it. Every morning, do one small thing just for yourself. Not for your boss. Not for your partner. Not for society. Just for you. Write. Stretch. Learn a skill. Walk. Draw. Meditate. Plan a side hustle. Give yourself at least 20 minutes of your own time daily. Ask yourself, if I had only 1 year to live, what would I regret never doing? That answer is your starting point, not your final destination, but your direction. Start shaping a why. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's helping others. Maybe it's building something. Maybe it's taking care of your family. Maybe it's proving something to yourself. It doesn't matter, as long as it's real. When you have a reason, even hard days feel worth it. Without one, even easy days feel empty. You're not drained because of what you do. You're drained because you don't know why you're doing it. Build a reason, and energy will follow. Because when your soul is on fire, your body obeys. Truth 3, you're always connected, but never present. This is one of the most dangerous modern causes of constant tiredness, and most people don't even realize it. Let's break it down. You grab your phone within 5 minutes of waking up. You scroll while eating. You text while talking. You watch YouTube, but think about something else. You fall asleep with Netflix playing. And then you ask, why am I so mentally drained? The answer is simple. You are never truly present. Your brain is like a browser with 100 tabs open. Overstimulated, overloaded, underest. The mind was never designed to process so much nonstop input. And here's the harsh truth. You're not tired because you worked too hard. You're tired because you never gave your mind even a single moment of real silence. Think of your brain as a sponge. Dip it again and again into red water, blue water, black water, green water, yellow water, without squeezing it out, and eventually it turns muddy. That's your mind. You flood it with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts, comments, ads, news, arguments, memes, every single hour. But you never wring it out. You never allow silence. So the result isn't just tiredness. It's mental exhaustion on repeat. You feel foggy, forgetful, unmotivated, like you can't focus on anything. And you start believing something is wrong with you. But it's not you. It's your lack of stillness. The solution: You must disconnect to reconnect. Here's how. Start your morning without your phone. For the first 30 minutes, no scrolling. Just breathe, stretch, write, plan, sit. Allow your mind to enter the day calmly, not with chaos. Take 2 mental showers each day. One in the afternoon, one before sleep. Just 10 minutes of nothing. No music, no talking, no screen. Sit in silence. Let your mind wash itself clean. Practice single tasking. Eat without watching anything. Walk without headphones. Talk to someone with full attention. These small moments restore clarity. You're not only what you eat, you are what you consume mentally. If you feed your brain noise all day, don't be surprised when you feel anxious, tired, and confused. Stillness is not a luxury. It's survival. You don't need more content. You need more clarity. And clarity comes from one thing: presence. Truth 4, you don't move your body, so energy doesn't move inside you. You're not tired because your body is broken. You're tired because your energy is stuck. In today's world, you wake up and sit. You go to work and sit. You come home and sit, then scroll, then sit again. But your body was never made for this. It was designed to move, to stretch, to bend, to run, to jump, to lift, to feel alive. Instead, it's frozen, stiff, weak, heavy, silent. And that's why, even if you sleep, even if you rest, you still feel drained, because nothing inside you is flowing. Picture a river. When it flows, it stays fresh, alive, beautiful. But when it stops, what happens? It turns muddy, stale, lifeless. That's your body. When you don't move, your blood, your oxygen, your hormones, your breath, they all become stuck. And stuck energy equals stuck emotions equals a tired soul. What happens when you don't move? Oxygen doesn't reach your brain, foggy thoughts. Lungs don't expand fully, shallow breath, low energy. Muscles weaken, posture collapses, you feel lazy. Lymph slows down, more toxins stay trapped. Happy chemicals like dopamine and serotonin stop flowing, your mood crashes. That's why you wake up tired even after sleep, because your system is stagnant. The solution: you don't need the gym. You don't need heavy weights. You don't need to run miles. You just need to move daily. Start with 5 minutes. Walk outside. Dance to one song. Do jumping jacks. Stretch your body. Open your joints. Breathe deeper. Wake up your energy. Move first thing in the morning, before phone, before coffee, before scrolling. Even 3 minutes of movement can transform your whole energy. Don't move to lose weight. Move to feel alive. Stop treating movement like punishment. See it as permission to reclaim your energy. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just still for too long. Your body is begging you to reconnect. Move, flow, stretch, dance, walk, breathe. Take back your energy through the gift of movement. Because energy doesn't come from sitting and waiting. It comes from moving, even a little, every single day. Truth 5, your diet is killing your energy. This is one of the most ignored truths, because nobody wants to face how deeply their food choices are destroying their life. You think you're tired because of work or lack of sleep or stress. But maybe you're tired because of what's on your plate. Let's be brutally honest. You grab sugary snacks, greasy takeout, endless coffee, processed junk, late-night food, skip meals, and emotion-driven snacking. And then you ask, why do I have no energy? Why can't I focus? Why do I always feel heavy, foggy, and slow? The answer is simple. Your body is running on trash. You cannot expect high energy from low-quality fuel. Imagine pouring cheap, dirty gasoline into a Ferrari. It might run, but soon it will break down, slow down, and eventually stop. That's your body. You are designed to be sharp, powerful, and focused. But when you fuel yourself with sugar, chemicals, and garbage, you're not resting. You're poisoning your system. And tiredness is just one of the symptoms. What bad food does to your body. Spikes blood sugar, sudden crashes. Increases inflammation, brain fog. Disrupts gut health, anxiety, depression. Slows digestion, heaviness. Overworks your liver, weak immunity. Starves the brain, poor focus. Throws off mood, hormones, sleep, and strength. This isn't only about food. This is about life energy. The solution: you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to eat 100% clean. You don't need to diet like a model. But you must respect your energy. Drink water first, before anything else. Most people feel tired simply because they're dehydrated. Begin your day with water, not coffee, not sugar. Eat like your future depends on it, because it does. Add one real food to every meal. Fruits, vegetables, eggs, nuts, whole grains, anything your great-grandparents would recognize as food. Cut the poisons draining you. You already know them. The daily soda, the junk you eat when sad, the 2 a.m. sugar binge. Remove one this week. Just one. Then another. Eat with presence, not distraction. Sit, breathe, taste. Let your body connect to the act of eating. That alone improves digestion and clarity. You are not just what you eat. You are what your body does with what you eat. And if you feed your body chaos, don't be surprised when it gives you exhaustion. Food is not just fuel. It's energy. It's focus. It's mood. It's vitality. It's life force. Feed yourself like you actually want to feel alive. Because when you eat better, you don't just regain your health. You reclaim your power. Brutal Truth 6. You're not tired. You're disconnected from who you really are. This is one of the most soul-crushing truths, but also the most life-changing if you're brave enough to face it. You're not tired because you're weak. You're not tired because you need a vacation. You're tired because you become a stranger to yourself. You can't remember the last time you felt inspired, the last time you felt deeply connected, the last time you were genuinely excited, the last time you were proud of who you are. Somewhere along the way, you stopped listening to your own voice. You stopped chasing what made you come alive. You stopped creating. You stopped dreaming. You stopped being you. And now every day, you wear clothes you didn't choose. You speak words you don't feel. You walk paths you never wanted. And you wonder why your energy is gone. Imagine a bird born to soar high. But every day it walks like a chicken. It forgets it has wings. It forgets the taste of freedom. It forgets the feeling of the sky. That bird isn't tired because it flew too much. It's tired because it stopped doing what it was born to do. That's exactly what happens when you lose connection with your real self. You don't just feel bored. You feel empty, and no amount of rest can heal that emptiness, because rest restores the body, but only alignment restores the soul. Disconnection from your true self leads to confusion about your desires, shame for being different, endless self-doubt, loss of passion, emotional numbness, and a constant feeling of being tired, even when you've done nothing. The solution: you must return to yourself, not the mask they shape for you, not the role you perform for others, but the raw, untamed, honest, powerful you. Remember what lit your fire when you were a child. Was it drawing, singing, inventing, running through nature? Do it again. Now, even for 10 minutes. Write a letter to yourself. Ask, what do you miss about me? What do you wish I would stop? What would make you proud of me again? Stop betraying your needs to win people who can't even see you. Their approval is not worth your soul. You're not drained from doing too much. You're drained from avoiding what sparks you alive. Reconnect, reignite, return home to yourself, because your soul is still waiting, and your energy will rise the moment you stop living a lie. Truth 7. Your sleep is broken even if you don't realize it. Let's talk about what most people believe is the number one cause of tiredness. But the truth runs deeper. Sleep. Everyone repeats, Just sleep more. Get 8 hours. Take naps. But what if I told you you could sleep 10 hours and still wake up drained? Because it's not only about how long you rest. It's about how deep, how calm, how undisturbed your sleep truly is. And right now, millions are sleeping but not restoring. They lie down, eyes closed, but the mind's still racing, still worrying, still scrolling. The body shuts down, but the soul never rests. Think of sleep like charging your phone. If the cable is damaged, it might say charging. But by morning, it's still on 12%. That's you. You lay in bed for hours, but your system never switches off. You dream your stress. You wake anxious. You slept, but you never healed. Modern life has destroyed natural rest cycles. Here's why your sleep may be broken. Blue light from screens right before bed. Watching fast or violent shows. Lying down with racing thoughts. Scrolling until your brain is overloaded. Going to bed too late. Too irregular. Waking to constant notifications. No calming wind down. Sugar too close to sleep. Noisy, chaotic bedrooms. All of this creates what scientists call sleep fragmentation. Your rest gets cut in pieces, never entering full recovery mode. The solution? Retrain your body to trust sleep again. It's not more hours, it's better rituals. Start here. Power down early. No screens 30 to 60 minutes before rest. Read, breathe, stretch, journal. Let the mind ease. Dark plus cool plus quiet. Make your room like a cave. Darkness creates melatonin. Cool air creates deeper sleep. Silence resets your nervous system. Protect your mornings. No phone first 15 to 30 minutes. Step outside. Let sunlight reach your eyes. It resets circadian rhythm and boosts natural energy. Release thoughts before bed. Don't carry chaos into your sleep. Write your worries down. Empty your head. Then true sleep begins. You don't just need more sleep. You need pure sleep, safe sleep, healing sleep. Sleep that restores, not hides. Because your bed is not a place to escape your life. It's the place you prepare to live it fully again. Fix your sleep, and you begin to fix your soul. Truth 8. You're living for everyone except yourself. This one will sting, but it's the truth millions avoid. You're exhausted, not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing everything for everyone else. You dress the way others expect. You stay in a job you don't love because it feels safe. You pose for attention. You speak words you don't believe. You show up in places you don't enjoy. You laugh when you want to cry. You stay quiet when your heart is screaming. You're living a life that's accepted but not authentic. And that is why you feel so hollow. You're drained because you abandoned your true self so others could stay comfortable with your false version. You became who they wanted and forgot who you were meant to be. Picture a candle. Every day you burn yourself down to give others light. Your smile brightens them. Your time warms their world. Your support keeps them alive. But who is lighting you? You keep burning and burning until nothing is left. And then one day you whisper, "Why am I so tired, even when I've done nothing?" Because giving yourself away daily is the fastest road to emotional death. When you live only for others, you lose your own voice. You forget what you want. You feel invisible in your own story. You feel guilty for desiring more. You smile on the outside but fade inside. You turn into an actor in your own movie. But the script isn't yours. The solution: stop being who they want and start being who you were created to be. Here's how to begin. Ask yourself, if no one would judge me, what would I do differently? That answer is the doorway back to your real self. Do one thing every day only for you. Not for followers, not for family, not for bosses. Something small but sacred. Speak this out loud. I deserve to live for me. Repeat until your soul accepts it. You don't need to vanish so others can shine. You don't need to shrink to fit their mold. You don't need to keep living a life that looks fine but feels wrong. Because the real you, the one you've been burying, is tired of waiting. And now is the time to return to yourself. Truth 10. You're addicted to dodging the hard things. You're not just tired. You're crushed by everything you've been avoiding. Let me tell you something that sounds harsh, but it's real. You don't need rest. You need to stop running from the things you've delayed for years. Let me explain. Every day you avoid something, the message you never answered, the work you kept delaying, the dream you abandoned, the talk you're afraid to have, the clutter around you, the truth in your heart. You keep saying, I'll handle it later. But later never arrives. And here's what happens. Each of those avoided things becomes a hidden weight in your mind. They don't vanish. They pile up like files on a desktop, like dirty dishes in the sink, like unopened emails in your inbox. Every time you notice them, you feel guilt, you feel stress, you feel exhausted without even acting. That's not laziness. That's the burden of ignored responsibility. Picture yourself with a backpack. Inside are unpaid bills, unfinished tasks, ignored passions, unspoken words, daily guilt, silent fears. You try to walk forward, but the bag grows heavier each day. Not because someone adds to it, but because you never open it. And one day you sit down and whisper, I don't know why I'm so tired. But the truth is, you do. You're tired of dragging everything you refuse to face. Avoiding hard things makes them expand in your mind, teaches your brain to fear discomfort, creates guilt and shame, drains focus and energy, and kills belief in yourself. You stop trusting yourself because you know you keep breaking promises to your own soul. The solution: you don't need to finish everything today. You just need to stop avoiding. Begin like this. Pick one hard thing you've been running from and face it now. Call that person. Clear that room. Answer that email. Say how you feel. Start tiny, but start today. Use the 10-minute courage rule. Tell yourself, I'll do this uncomfortable thing for only 10 minutes. Most fears fade once you begin. Celebrate action, not outcomes. Don't wait for perfect results to feel proud. Feel proud simply because you finally moved. You're not drained because of life. You're drained because of everything you're hiding from in life. Face it. Feel the fear. Then take one small step. Because avoiding pain doesn't save you. It poisons you slowly. Truth 11. You don't know how to say no. This one is especially painful because it's silent. You're not exhausted because of how much you're doing. You're exhausted because of how much you're doing that you never wished to do in the first place. Let's break this down. Every time someone requests something, you agree, even when you're drained, even when you lack time, even when your soul begs, please, not again. You reply, sure, I'll help. Yeah, I'll come. Okay, I'll do it. It's fine. I got it. But it's not fine because inside you're breaking. And here's the harsh truth. You're not a generous person. You're an exhausted person who's afraid to let others down. Picture yourself like a phone battery. Your friend asks, can I use your charger? You hand it over. Then someone else asks. Then another. Now everyone's charging their phone, but you're at 2%. That's what happens when you give without boundaries. People take, not because they're cruel, but because you never said stop. When you continue saying yes, you build hidden resentment but never express it. You feel drained even though you were the one who offered. You forget your needs. You lose strength, time, freedom, and most painful of all, your identity. And at some point, you collapse emotionally, mentally, physically because you served everyone but yourself. The solution: learning to say no is not rejection. It's self-worth. Here's how to begin. Pause before saying yes. Just wait 3 seconds and ask, Do I truly want this? Can I actually do this? Will I regret this tomorrow? Start with softer numbers. I wish I could, but I can't now. That doesn't work for me. I'm focusing on my health/family at this time. Saying no doesn't make you unkind. It makes you truthful. Protect space for yourself or no one else will. Block off your rest time. Block off your dream time. Block off your silence. Guard it like your life relies on it, because it does. You're not exhausted from doing too much. You're exhausted from doing too much for others and nothing for yourself. You don't owe the world your energy. You owe yourself your calm. So say no when it's no, and say yes to your healing, because a boundary is not a cage. It's a gate, and you choose who steps through. Truth 12. You're surrounded by people who drain you. Most people assume their exhaustion comes from work or stress or little sleep, but the truth is far more dangerous. You're exhausted because of the people you allow into your space. Yes, you may not see it, but energy is not just physical, it's emotional. And some people are quietly stealing yours every single day. They don't hit you. They don't yell at you. They may even smile at you. But after speaking with them, you feel empty, small, ignored, guilty, worthless, and you can't even explain why. They are the friend who only complains about their struggles, but never listens to yours. The partner who laughs at your vision instead of supporting it. The family member who endlessly criticizes you under the excuse of love. The co-worker who keeps unloading their stress on you like it's your duty to solve them. You're not exhausted because you're doing too much. You're exhausted because you're endlessly giving your energy to people who never return it. Picture your energy as a phone charge. You begin the day at 100%. But before you even leave the house, a toxic person rings you and complains for 30 minutes. Charge down to 70%. Your parent says, "Why aren't you doing better?" Charge down to 55%. Your coworker gossips and stuffs your mind with drama. 40%. Your friend messages you only when they want something. 25%. You arrive home and your partner throws you attitude. 10%. Now it's night. You've barely done anything for yourself, but you feel like you ran a marathon. That's not your body. That's your circle. Most people won't walk away from toxic bonds. They say, "They're my family. They've been here for years. It's not so bad. I don't want to upset anyone." But while you shield their feelings, your energy, your joy, your soul is slowly fading. And guess what? Nobody will thank you for staying small to keep them comfortable. The solution: you don't have to cut everyone out, but you must guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Draw boundaries. Learn to say, "I'm not free to talk right now." Learn to say, "That's not okay with me." Learn to say no without shame. Spend more hours with people who make you feel alive. Even if it's only online, even if it's just books. Trade one draining voice for one uplifting voice. Audit your circle. Ask yourself, do I feel lighter or heavier after being with them? The reply will show you who deserves space in your life and who does not. You're not just exhausted. You're emotionally robbed daily by people you've allowed to stay too close for too long. This is your signal. Guard your peace. Protect your strength. Save your life, because you can't feel rested inside a room full of people who make your soul feel heavy. Truth 13. You've been acting okay for too long. This one will sting, because it's a truth we're never allowed to admit out loud. You seem fine. You act fine. You laugh. You appear. You finish your tasks. You smile at strangers. You post pictures that look happy. You say, "I'm good." But deep inside, you're breaking silently, slowly, secretly. You're exhausted, not because life is too hard, but because you've been wearing a mask too long. And let me say something harsh. Acting okay is the most draining job in the world. You wake every morning and wear your strong costume. You speak like everything's fine. You bury your pain so deep that even you forget it's there. But that pain is still alive, still burning, still leaking your energy drop by drop, day by day. Real world example. Picture a bottle with a tiny hole. At first you don't notice, but hour by hour it drips. Until one day it's empty. Not because someone spilled it, but because of a hidden silent leak. That's you. Every fake smile, every "I'm okay." Every second you swallow your truth to keep the peace. You leak. And finally, even if you rest, you feel nothing. No joy, no spark, no strength, just numb. When you keep pretending, you erase your identity. You stop reaching for help. You forget how to cry. You stop believing change is possible. You start calling it laziness when it's actually emotional collapse. The solution, you don't need fixing. You need to be real. You need to quit pretending. Admit the truth, even if only to yourself. Speak out loud. I'm not okay. You don't need to justify. You just need to stop lying to your soul. Find safe spaces. A diary, a counselor, a close friend, a support group. Anywhere you can drop the mask and exhale. Rest isn't scrolling or escaping. Real rest equals facing your emotions. Let them come. Let them ache. Let them speak, then let them go. Quit acting tough. Start being truthful. Because the strongest aren't those who hold it in. They're the ones who finally release it. You're not exhausted because you're broken. You're exhausted because you're pretending to be someone you're not. Be real. That's where true healing starts. Truth 14. You lack a routine, so life feels like chaos. Here's the last, most neglected, most tragic truth of all. You're exhausted. Not because you're too busy, not because life is too tough, but because your life lacks structure. You wake at different hours each day. You eat when you're bored, not when you're hungry. You scroll when you're lost. You sleep when you collapse. You work when you're pushed to. You ignore what counts. You lack rhythm. And just like a house with no walls, everything keeps falling. No system, no plan, no anchor, no path, just endless reaction, endless mess, endless fatigue. Picture living in a home where lights turn off and on randomly. You never know when food will come. You sleep in a different room each night. The temperature changes nonstop. The water works sometimes and sometimes not. How long could you last? That's what you're doing to your mind and body daily. When you live routine-free, your body is lost. Your brain is uneasy. Your hormones are scattered. Your energy doesn't know when to rise or drop. So what do you feel? Drained, distracted, unstable, unmotivated, and most crushing, hopeless. The hidden pain of disorder. You always feel late. You never feel in charge. You overthink constantly. You lose track of dreams. You waste energy on tiny choices. You respond to life instead of designing it. A life without order is like a body without a pulse. There's no flow, no drive, no calm, only survival. The solution: design a routine that builds your future. I'm not saying become a robot. I'm saying build a base strong enough to carry your vision. Create a morning ritual, even if it's 15 minutes. Wake up same time every day, even weekends. Drink water. Move your body. Sit in silence. Write your plan for the day. This tiny practice will reset your brain each morning. Split your day into focus blocks. One for work, one for deep rest, one for food, one for growth, one for vision. It doesn't have to be flawless. It just has to exist because a plan gives your mind a map and your energy a mission. Protect your nights like sacred ground. No chaos before bed. No phone the final 30 minutes. Wind down on purpose. Write one thing you're thankful for. Forgive yourself for what's undone. End the day like a winner. So you start tomorrow with fire, You're not exhausted because there's too much to do. You're exhausted because you're doing everything without order. You're exhausted because you're battling your day instead of leading it. And each day without structure is one where your energy bleeds without aim. Create a routine not just to be efficient, but to give your strength a place to live, your peace a place to return, and your dreams a place to grow. Because order doesn't kill freedom. Order builds it. Now that you've heard all 14 truths, take a deep breath, because now you finally see why you always feel drained, why rest doesn't help, why motivation fades fast, why you feel heavy even when life looks okay. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're just human. You've been giving too much, acting too much, avoiding too much, hurting quietly in a world that tells you to just keep going. But now you see tiredness is not just a body issue. It's a life issue, and you are not powerless. You have the truth now. You have the mirror. You have the tools. You have the right to rebuild yourself in a way that is real, lasting, powerful, and true. So the only question is, what will you do next? Well, you have the truth now. You have the mirror. You have the tools. You have the right to rebuild yourself in a way that is real, lasting, powerful, and true. So the only question is, what will you do next? Will you scroll away and forget this? Or will you finally say, enough, no more fake rest, no more hidden pain, no more toxic energy, no more escaping my own life. I'm ready to rebuild, one truth at a time, one habit at a time, one breath at a time, because I may be drained today, but I won't stay drained forever. Before you go, say this aloud. I'm not broken. I'm just finally ready to heal. Say it again, because this video is not only for watching, it's for becoming. If this opened your eyes, if even one truth felt like your story, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more life-changing lessons. Join our journey, and let's build the best version of your life together.